Yeah, you can see the pool steaming from here, so it's a heated pool. But it doesn't look like they have bras. So when things are spherical, it's more kind of dreamlike, and things seem more distant. That's called the 0.5. When it goes into normal, it's like this, which is more kind of normal looking. All right, we got another three-parter, 822, 4, and then 1.3. Let's say there's been a bully or crazy. Let's say a skinny, crazy bully, and all of a sudden, the one that guy was picking on, who was another skinny one, all of a sudden goes nuts with all his friends and becomes even a bigger bully. Well, the principal is going to get onto both of them, and he's just going to prevent the fighting, especially the one that's meaner. All right, 842, 11, 4.6 on the next one. I want to say maybe that one. Yeah, it's gonna be that one. All right, 901, 13, 5.2, that's number 3. Right over there by Old South, it's flooding out of the little round disc thing, covers the water main. Things flooding bad, right by Jack in a Box, like a little river. This would be the tower. That's the Burnett Plaza building. We'll be going to the tower. Sorry, creeper. Used to wear creepers when I was younger. probably something on there. This is Burnett area. If you read my stuff, I have a story called The Thieves Story. And there's a character named Tom Burnett. It's based on this park. Back there's a statue of him. He was an art thief. He just sold basically paintings off the wall almost. You got to read the story though. He steals the head of Mother Mary that's in gold. They actually did pass through here in a exhibit, but he steals it. It was in a safe, and it passed through here a long time ago, probably like 2002 maybe. Maybe 2003. You know what? It might have been 2004. I think it was 2003 or 2004. It is an art exhibit. But anyway, there was another character named. The whole story is being told by character Roberto Pace. Tells the story from cell 1776. The rioting around him in this basically prison. And he's in for armed robbery. And then it goes into Tom Burnett's life, and it's kind of a fictional character that Roberto Pace created. Then later it goes to an outside story by Mr. Spoil, who's in Maine, and he's a petty theft that stole out of garages. It's about 3 different types of thieves. One violent, one kind of crafty, and the other one a petty thief. It talks about Jesus too, in a way. It's called The Thieves Story. It's on my fiction press under Ash Cole. It's my pen name. I'm Ash Cole. All right, here we go. That's the tower. Gotcha. Look how fast it goes. Air's popping. Right now we're about 22 times 10 on the feet. 220 feet? Does that sound right? I don't know, I have to do the math. These condominiums, you can't hear anybody. Even if you scream really loud, they can barely hear you knocking. It's probably more than that. It's like 500 feet in the air or more. The whole thing is probably 900 plus feet, maybe more than that. I don't know. For some reason there's fireworks going off. All right, next one, 9329 4.1. So the to be or not to be speech, which is in Hamlet, I did memorize. We had to do it for an English class in college. It was like we had to choose a monologue, I think from Hamlet. We had to memorize it, and we had to write it down. You know, the to be or not to be, that is the question, whether it's just nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of trouble, and by opposing to end them, to die, to sleep no more, to sleep perchance to dream. Ah, there's the rub. If we're in that sleep of death, what dreams may come. That one has a whole list of things that Hamlet talks about in death, the mortal coil and all of that stuff. It's not hard. It's a good beginner one. The one I also like is the how occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? That one is his decision to kill Claudius. So it's kind of him talking about this prince that's marching 20,000 men that go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot when the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and content to hide the slain. From this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or nothing worth. He makes his decision to kill Claudius. There's no more, like the play, at that moment we know he's going to do it. Well, throughout the play, it's pretty much he is going to do it, but he's still kind of contemplating and questioning, and you know, maybe to be or not to be is like an ambiguous state that he's in, you know. Then finally he makes the point. Now, when Kenneth Branagh did it, he did it, that speech, like an anthem kind of thing. It's very strange. It is in the Hamlet version of Kenneth Branagh, which is actually pretty good. I also like the one done with Laurence Olivier. I don't know if they cut that one. The how all occasions do inform against me is usually cut for some reason. They just get to the point, and then he goes and he fights, and then he gets poisoned by the tip of the blade, and dies next to, I guess it was a Horatio. It goes, you know, sends him with the flight of angels, that whole moment. But the one I saw with Kenneth Branagh was like, it was very strange the way he did it. I'd have to ask him, I said, why did you make that choice? It's almost as if he's singing it. You have to go and, there's a lot of music behind what he's saying. But I think personally it's Hamlet mad at himself for being kind of lazy. He says, what is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse looking before and after gave us not the capability and godlike reason to fusten us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which courted hath but one part wisdom and every 3 parts coward. I don't know why yet I say these things to do, when I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass charge, led by a delicate and tender prince with spirit divine and vision puffs, makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare even for an eggshell. Rightly, to be great is not to stir without great argument. But greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor is at stake. How stand I, a father killed, a mother stained, excitements for my reason and my blood, and I let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot, when the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. From this time forth my thoughts be bloody, or nothing worth. It's better just to freaking do it and not talk about it. But that's what he, you know, that's what his decision is. And I don't think Kenneth Branagh he didn't really do that, though. He did it very differently. You have to watch the movie. I don't know why, but you have to watch the Kenneth Branagh Hamlet. There's music underneath it, and it's like an anthem. It's almost like a speech or something. I don't know if the director, or he was the director, so I don't know. I'd have to like watch it again and go, okay, I see this or something. He was older when he played Hamlet. I always saw Hamlet as a little younger. But they do play Hamlet at older ages, like in their 40s or sometimes even in their 50s. Hamlet sometimes is played by an older guy because it's a thought thing. But it's all of antithesis. It goes back and forth, back and forth. The thought. Okay. But only pizza. Unless, of course, you're watching Barry, Henry Winkler. And it's more than just a pizza. My theory with the Kenneth Branagh "How All Occasions Do Inform Against Me" speech, which is Act 4, Scene 4 in Hamlet, is that they did it with the music. So he just turned that part literally into music. I think, maybe. I'd have to go back and kind of analyze it. But listen, there's been some good Hamlets. I think maybe Gary Oldman's done it. Daniel Day-Lewis did do Hamlet. I'm sure Sir Ian McKellen at least read it. He did a great Richard III, which is another one that I've done. A really tough one. Richard III is tough. I would, if I did Richard III, I would probably, why dost thou spit on me? I would like to, affect the voice. But I don't think Sir Ian McKellen really did affect the voice. I think it may be the best performance by Shakespeare, other than Laurence Olivier's Hamlet, is Sir Ian McKellen's Richard III. Ooh, we got a white cat there. I think it is. I saw it and I was just completely blown away. I think Robert Downey Jr.'s in that film. I was blown away by his performance, mostly because of his choices, and it was completely real. Now, I had a teacher, acting teacher, that tried to talk me out of acting, but then again, loved my Richard III. She said, "Oh, your Richard III is great. You got to get someone to do this for you, blah, blah." Maybe because of my slight lisp or whatever, Because Richard III was affected in the birth, meaning he was damaged by birth. He was a freak. But Sir Ian McKellen's performance is just so much built up anger and sexual frustration or whatever it may be. That is just, it's an amazing performance. I saw him interviewed by Lipton. But anyway, a lot of these performances you have not seen. No one's seen the performance that Gary Oldman did of Hamlet. No one has seen Daniel Day-Lewis's one. I mean, people have, but I don't think they videoed it. I don't know. HD Broadway, which I haven't subscribed to them in a long time, I thought what they were doing was brilliant. And I used to rent, or I'd go through HD Broadway or Broadway HD, and you would be able to see performances done from your living room. Barry Child was showing with Ed Harris, the Sam Shepard play. I just think it's a great idea, because not everybody has a chance to fly to New York and get on Broadway, but they can get Broadway HD. They do have musicals too. They have a whole section of it. It's really cool, the rain going through the light right here. I might go straight, but they have a section of it where you can just watch Shakespeare. Everything from Laurence Olivier's Hamlet, which I believe was directed by Laurence Olivier, which is a masterpiece movie. It's a great movie. These things take forever. And modern day versions of Hamlet and Shakespeare. Shakespeare's done in so many different ways. There's a great teacher of it. I want to say his name is Barry or something like that. There we go, right here. You can't see it. I wish I could remember his name, but he was a heavy-set guy. He taught the Royal Shakespeare Company. He has a whole series of videos. He taught everyone. I think he taught Sir Ian McKellen. I know he taught the bald guy in Star Trek, Patrick, is what's coming to mind on his name. Why do I want to say Stewart? Anyway, he was basically, just put the easy way, if you've seen Star Trek The New Generation, the bald guy, he was taught by this guy on how handling Shakespeare, how to do it. It's the music of it, the wording, the thoughts. the antithesis, you know, the way a soliloquy is approached and the way it's handled in front of an audience. He taught all these actors, like literally, like it's almost like teaching music. It's very similar, and it's technical. You know, they're not doing sense memory. I don't know if they talk about that. Like they're not sucking on a lemon and trying to recall the taste of the lemon like American actors. They're thinking about thought. They're thinking about antithesis. You got to know what that means. Here's an example of antithesis. It's to be or not to be. That's a perfect example of an antithesis. And Shakespeare mastered that in his writing because he used what's known as the iambic pentameter. So it had to fit. The thought and the rhythm, the music, both had to fit. To be is one thing, or not to be is the opposite. It was one thing opposing the other. It's a lot in nature. All right, we're gonna stop by 7-Eleven here. Looks like another night of delivery. We're gonna head back to see Linda and Kitty. Let's go ahead and look. I say it's about 22 miles. So we're gonna look at it. Yeah, so about 22 miles. Always do about half of what I'm doing, which is normal on a weekend. So Friday and Saturday is about 22. And it can be as little as 7 to 10 miles a week days. Got one of those wasabi nut things right here. Right, that's Sunday. Keep in the step with the Spirit. It's Galatians 5:25 in the Lutheran Church. My favorite nuts. Right here, which are lagoons. These guys right here. It's wasabi. Wasabi soy. It's kind of spicy. $1.29. Pretty good snack. I got a zero coat with a touch of cherry. And I got Linda's juice. You know, her drink. Hello.
How are you?
Okay. Where's Kitty? Oh. Same old spot.
Yeah, he's been liking that.